really bad things. And there's a reason why we got to talk about it. Let's show you Gabby Hannah exposing or putting down or kind of throwing a Uno reversal card at KJP, but let me show you what happened. Gabby Hannah obviously has been watching KJP talk about her, and she decided to take a screenshot of her DMs and say they're all the same. Gabby, I have no idea if you'll ever see this, but I wanted you to know your video coming back to YouTube was amazing. Watching the hate campaign against you was horrific. Over time, seeing Jen's treatment of you is disgusting. I'm now the center of this cancel culture and want you to know your ability to get through yours is honestly giving me hope right now. You gotta be kidding me. Have you seen what happened to Gabby? She's going nutso, KJP. Girl, I've had serious issues with Angelica Oles for 2 years. 3 snaps and a whoop-de-doo there. She's canceled me over the dumbest stuff and refuses to stop or retract. It's just, if you have a bad opinion of me, I'm gonna want you to retract it. As you can see, she's been sending all of this to Gabby, and Gabby hasn't decided or clicked the first communication to block, delete, or accept. What happens next is pretty stupid. She was defending you like 2 days ago. Gabby Hannah proving to Deaf Noodles that she's still with her boyfriend. I don't know how that's defending her. See, I can't figure some of this stuff out, but I don't care to. Though we see KJP come in. I was pointing out that she was paying attention to Deaf Noodles after he tweeted her. So this entire situation goes back to Gabby talking about her experience with ADHD. And a lot of people think that Gabby is manic. This is really bothering me. You got an entire brigade of people that constantly come in. You'll see this everywhere. It's almost like a brigade of people. I don't know what it is, like, but they get so mad because somebody talks differently than they want them to, right? Controlling other people, trying to tell other people what to do, you know, which it's a fine line between giving advice or just talking and then telling somebody what to do, but you get me. What does this have? What the hell? It's from an account that no longer exists. It got crazy down here. But let's take a look because we've got Drama and Opinions did a really good job cataloging. Go watch Drama and Opinions. I want to shout out Drama and Opinions because Drama and Opinions videos used to be giving her just what happened, right? And very little opinion. But you notice Drama and Opinions is really putting her personality into her videos. And she's funny. She was singing. She's got an incredible singing voice. I was like, damn. But anyway, great video. My goodness, Drama and Opinions is going to blow up if she keeps doing this.
This is my water jug that I just put water in because I was thirsty. This is what it's like to live with ADHD. I've never shown you guys my actual life before.
I don't know. I think you've really shown people your life.
And I'm gonna start doing that. What just happened was I was working and then I got an Apple Watch alert to walk around for a minute. So I started walking around because I wanted to talk about how cool that Apple Watch thing was.
My robot just told me to walk around.
Good for my ADHD.
You don't want me to get crazy. You do not want me to get crazy.
ADHD.
I will too. I gotta fix my lighting. I'm using different lighting, can you tell? I need to fix it.
Apple Watch, and I've just spent the last, I don't know how long it's been, not that long, doing a lot of other things. And I forgot why I was posting a story, and then I was like, what am I talking about?
Welcome to being a normal human being.
Right, here we are. And it's because my Apple Watch buzzed.
Gabby is spending a lot of time talking about, this is from WOACB, her ADHD. Way too many letters. She's showing all the people, but if Gabby was taking meds, she'd be able to focus, not be forgetful, wouldn't be so impulsive. Gabby is showing you untreated ADHD. Well, no, she's not. No, she's not, because Gabby has done videos, I guess you didn't see it, where she actually does talk about her doctor's prescriptions and being diagnosed, but who knows? Who knows? I have ADHD and have been treated for 3 years. While I still struggle with impulse control after my meds wear off at night, I think you can struggle with impulse control a lot more than just at night, but okay. I've learned this past year not to go live or post when I know I'm not able to focus, which is why you don't see me live much more. Hey, ADHD can cause a lot of damage that can feel humiliating the next day. The shame and guilt I've felt over my own actions has been hard to deal with at times. Anyway, I think this is a pretty clear admission that she does feel bad about some of the stuff she does, right? My advice to Gabby, stop self-medicating, see a doctor, and get a plan to treat your ADHD. It'll help you so much. Now, I have an issue here. Didn't necessarily have an issue with her assuming that she's not treated. But to go further and accuse her of taking drugs to self-medicate, that's what self-medicating means. She's accusing Gabbie of taking drugs that her doctor isn't prescribing her for her symptoms. Does she know something that we don't? I don't know. So basically, Drama and Opinions does the hard work. I'm serious. Great channel. And because Drama and Opinions goes and finds Gabbie posting, hey, I've been treated and my doctor said this, and my doctor said that. She basically debunks WOACB. I don't know, but you could go as far as to say she might be mad because Gabbie's ignoring her and started to treat her bad after the first messages. Just a guess. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, Gabbie comes in. Adult ADHD is a very serious neurological disorder that mimics and often misdiagnosed as bipolar. Its main features are impulsivity, severe reaction sensitivity, troubled relationships, intense mood swings, and impaired executive function. Passionate and eager to share more. You know, it always gets me because they act like they're passionate and eager to share and all this because they're doing some kind of favor to people. I don't mind them telling people their thoughts or what they've been told or repeating something, but I don't know, man. This is where it gets a little funky because you know what's about to happen, right? You know what's about to happen. KJP comes in to to argue with Miss Gabbie. This is actually not true. ADHD is not a mood disorder, so mood swings are not common. The common features are inattentiveness, impulsivity, and hyperactivity. Not at all, or I'm sorry, not all people have hyperactive ADHD. It sounds more like you are describing BP or BPD. Gabbie doesn't respond to KJP, ever. I'm not going to go deeper into KJP saying more stuff, but there's a lot. She goes cray at Gabbie. Kind of makes sense why Gabbie took a shot at KJP and said, they're all the same, right? And she dodged a bullet there because even though Gabbie's in the middle of a breakdown, which I do believe she's doing this for attention, I do think that her taking a shot at KJP was definitely entertaining. Let's move on.
About you. I was like, what? That's what I want to know. And it's
okay, so Trisha and Gabbie sat down to talk. I mentioned this, I believe, in my last video. And it's what started that entire mess where Gabbie was going absolutely crazy. Remember the beginning of my video where I did that edit of Gabbie like singing all crazy? Anyway, Trisha's done a video. Gabbie, please stop. So now you've got this thing where Gabbie started to go at Rachel Oates, went at all these other people, and then ended on Trisha. She's claiming to be doing a 12-part or 16-part series exposing Trisha. I could be wrong. Maybe it's exposing a bunch of different people. But Trisha is definitely one of the people. And on Patreon, I'm not going to show it, Gabbie posted that she felt bad looking at the final edit and she feels embarrassed about the interaction that she's had with Trisha. Now, one thing that could have caused that was Trisha firing at Gabbie a couple days ago, and I didn't have a chance to play it for you. I just want you to hear a couple things. Take a listen.
I think it was Alicia's video that said this, that just like, I guess they call like trauma, just put so much on to me about her life, and I felt for her. Like, obviously, like I feel like we do have so many similarities. Like, cognitive therapy is really just trying to like recognize or changing my thought pattern, how I think about situations. So
let me go ahead and explain this for you, but if you want to watch it, it's Gabbie, please stop on Trisha's page. Trisha comes back and handles this extremely, I think, well, like she did a good job. She talks about her own mental problems and how Gabbie is exacerbating them through this petty internet drama. I think because she actually did care about Gabbie, she just wasn't close with her, and she didn't like the way she's being treated. Then, if you look over, I know some of you have heard about Jeff Wittek and his series. What really gets me about this, I don't know if you've watched this yet. You guys know David Dobrik. This guy, Jeff, injured his eye in one of the stunts for David's video. These guys do extreme stuff. They jump out of planes. They do all this crazy stuff for the vlogs that they do. And so they're always getting crazier and crazier. And they did this dangerous stunt that caused him to have metal plates in his eye. He's got to have his eye pulled forward. He's doing these crazy surgeries. I feel for the guy. In this episode, does this make you happy? Episode 4, don't try this at home. You should hear him rail David Dobrik. You can tell they're good friends. He's sitting next to David. He's saying things like, well, I used to be handsome until David did this to me. You know, David, if I never met you, I would have never been like, I wouldn't be like this now. It's crazy, okay? It goes beyond what I thought it would be. It's not this kind of like cheesy thing. Something else you got to know. Gabbie's being exposed from a different place, a different side. her hometown. So in the comments section, if I believe Trisha's video, people from Gabby's hometown talk about Gabby when she was younger. And it's pretty crazy. So I'm going to read it to you. Then Gabby's own sister jumps in. You seriously have to look at this. Okay, so Jake Rott says, Gabby's from my hometown. She made a video dramatizing an OD that happened at our high school. She's got a history of being hyper dramatic and attention seeking. She also says that she was bullied at school, but she was popular as F and pretty rude. She and her friends freaked out on my ex-girlfriend for no reason once at an ice rink, and I had math with her my freshman year. Despite her being 2 years ahead of me, and we were learning about outliers. There was a girl named Megan who had pretty large forehead, and Gabby goes, okay, I think I get it now. She points to somebody and says forehead. Then the girl next to him and says forehead. Then another guy and says forehead. Finally points to Megan and says five head. So Megan is the outlier, right? So it's just ironic to me that she says people bullied her for her nose. Because if they did, it was a reaction to her pointing out other people's flaws or bullying other people. Hey, that'd be pretty good. Strawberry says, the way I just realized she's been projecting a high school bully thing this whole time. Then somebody named Teresa comes in below Trisha's replies and says, I'm her older sister. I can confirm. Make no mistake. She's always been terrible. Her own sister. Her own freaking sister. Then she says, whose oldest sister? And she says, Gab's. How does it feel to watch this all go down? And she says, heartbreaking, but she doesn't learn from her mistakes. I've never said anything online before, but on the other hand, this is the treatment I got from her since she got to be about 12 or 13. It's all sad, but at the same time, how long can you blame everyone and everything else around you until you just stop hurting people? That's her own sister coming in, allegedly. But I believe it. I mean, it seems that way, right? I guess it could be a troll. It doesn't seem that way, though. So let's move on. I've got to weigh in on this because a very popular YouTube personality is being canceled for the dumbest reason. Those of you that don't know, there's this original online in real life streamer named Ice Poseidon, and I've tuned into a few of his streams back in the day, and now people, for some reason, found a clip of Carl literally walking behind Ice Poseidon in one of his live streams. So Carl found out where Ice was, went there, and appeared in his live stream. Now, because Ice Poseidon has made edgy jokes, said pretty bad stuff, he acted pretty bad back in the day. That's honestly probably what made him so famous, though. And because Carl now is a huge YouTuber with Mr. Beast that is like a family or kid YouTuber streaming Minecraft and stuff. Of course, you can imagine what happened. People said they demand that Carl be canceled for being in an Ice Poseidon video from long ago. And he actually bows down to it. Take a listen.
But in reality, in early Twitch, the meme was like Ice Poseidon has a big nose, so people just made fun of him for having a big nose. Or towards anti-Semitism, if that makes sense. Or
Carl, man, Jesus, dude. Oh, right. I'm not gonna play all the other stuff. You can find it if you want to watch it. So what are my thoughts? Stop bowing down to the cancel culture mob, man. For one, this is something that happened a long time ago. For two, he is throwing Ice Poseidon under the bus. Ice has tried to change. I don't know if he has or not. I'm not saying anything for Ice, but either way, you stood in the back of the guy's IRL stream. For God's sakes, how does that make you support him? How does that make you have an opinion? How does that make you yourself state something? It doesn't, okay? But you bowing down to this, they're just going to try harder now. They're going to go find something else. They took a nothing, made it into a something, and he apologized because he was like, and here's what he said. If I've hurt somebody by doing that, if I've made somebody uncomfortable, I didn't want that, and I'm sorry. And I know some people could be uncomfortable by that old stuff. So no, they shouldn't. Like literally, our society really sucks. You go to the internet 5-6 years ago, it was awesome. You look at it now, it's just a bunch of people crying that they're hurt by this and hurt by that, and you got to apologize. So for my final thing I'm going to talk about today, EDP is a YouTuber that got exposed for meeting a very young girl for what he claimed was to get a cupcake, but we all know what he was meeting for. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because EDP and the guy who exposed him got deleted from YouTube. You probably heard this. What's the update to the story. Well, several sources are basically reporting that the police are not going to go further against EDP. They say that this guy already messed up the investigation by doing a very sloppy bust. And the last thing I'll say right now, and I should have brought up Nate's channel before I did this. Nate the Lawyer, there we go. Nate the Lawyer and I just did a live stream last night where we talked about another fundraiser done from the same people that we talked about before being found out as fraudulent. There's a quick update to that. Let me show it to you. So I've got a couple things to update you with, but we're going to start with Nate's tweet. Nate says, alleged fraudulent cancer fundraiser update. This is the one we talked about in the live stream last night. Though he updates us with facts. The inconsistencies are with all the invoices. 2, the hospital has no records of this person as a patient. Prior GoFundMe for the same amount, but for a different medical issue. So we talked about that last night too. Prior invoice and new invoice do not match at all. The invoices and what she showed had the dates that were just not matching. It really looks like a lot of it's faked. That's what it seems like. This leads Nate to believe that the fundraiser may not be legitimate. I also believe that. Nate has contacted law enforcement and provided them with all details and logs of his activities in attempting to verify this was not a scam. GoFundMe has been given the information. Since none of the information can be verified, I think the responsible thing to do is report this to law enforcement. I will keep you updated on any future developments as we work with authorities to get a resolution to the issue. And he says all parties are considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, which I completely agree. But I want to tell you this. This is the second fundraiser from this group, and they've done 20, 30, 40. It depends on who's involved, right? And I have identified several more that are just as illegitimate as this one, okay? Which means we don't have full confirmation, but we basically have everything that you need. And unless they come out and verify that those fundraisers were on the up and up, then the burden of proof has been met with this one and several others to be fraudulent. The issue, they will not update anybody. They will not work with anybody. And when they tried to clear this one, they lied, they played games, they wasted time. I know a lot of you guys that watch my channel, it's possible that you donated to some of these fundraisers. If you did, I would file a report. It's just my recommendation, because I'm telling you now, a report isn't going to do anything wrong. It just has them look into it and then ask the questions. Can you prove that you did what you said you did with the money? It's time for them to actually account for the fundraisers instead of just sitting there and attacking anybody who asks them to account, especially after they promised they would and never did for any of these fundraisers. It is very possible that by the end of this, we may be looking at anywhere close to 10 or even more, up to 20 fraudulent fundraisers. And that would mean it would become a giant story for YouTube, and people would be getting severe punishments. Just based off of what's already been found, people are definitely going to get very severe punishments. I'm going to keep you updated. Nate the Lawyer is going to keep you updated. We're going to live stream if anything develops. Keep an eye out, ring the bell, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.